Originally, the concept of metabolism was coined in biology and ecology. Nevertheless, today, also when looking at cities, there is sometimes the concept of urban metabolism used. Following Kennedy, urban metabolism can be defined as the total sum of the technical and socio-economic processes that occur in cities, resulting in growth, production of energy and elimination of waste. On the one hand side, using this metaphor helps us to better understand the material flows and the energy flows through cities, and this can also be complemented by, for instance, financial flows and immaterial services. On the other hand, this metaphor also helps us to kind of reconstruct or redesign the metabolism of cities in better understanding the sinks, the inputs and the outputs of cities. As mentioned before, this metabolism can, however, not only be understood when looking at the cities alone, because cities strongly rely on their hinterland, and without this hinterland, mainly rural areas, which are increasingly globalized, we cannot really understand, or it does not really make sense to talk about sustainability. This makes, on the one hand side, clear that cities are open systems. On the other hand, it also makes clear that we can only understand sustainable development if we look at the interactions between cities and the surrounding context, that is, the rural areas somehow providing major resources and services for the cities. Another aspect that is essential when thinking about cities and when talking about cities is to understand that cities have to be understood on different hierarchical levels. That means we have, for instance, on the one hand side, the single household, which has certain sustainability or sustainability relevant impacts. On the other hand, this household is embedded in neighborhoods, and finally, the different neighborhoods together construct the entire system. A last aspect that needs to be mentioned, especially when talking about metabolism, is that metabolism usually are there to fulfill certain functions. But what are the basic functions of cities? Basic functions of cities are, on the one hand side, to allow people to work in these cities, to nourish the people living in the cities, to provide shelter for the people living in the cities, to allow communication among different people and among different businesses that are in the cities, and finally to transport people and goods from one place to another. I'm well aware that there are more functions in cities, though looking at the metabolism, these might be the most important ones and might also help to somehow better structure insights with regards to the urban metabolism.